There we go. Hello!
Hello.
My webcam takes a second to load in. It's so weird. I was waving and then realized I wasn't actually on the screen. But hi! Welcome back for episode 2 of Neon Devils 2. I'm very excited to play again, and it's gonna be a fun time, and we're gonna do a job for this rando in a trench coat, outside of a warehouse, and nothing bad's gonna happen. It's gonna be great. Um,
Uh-oh.
are we have? Oh, goody! The internet issues from yesterday are still here.
Oh, good.
Great, great, just great. Yep, the stream's done.
Fight me, Ravens Internet. Fight me.
Are we back? Are we still doing
I
this
think
internet?
so.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of looks like it.
In this episode,
right.
we go to 1v1 internet providers.
Yep. Normally it only happens for like one stream, but apparently it's like, nope, we're gonna continue on to the next day. So sorry about that. But anyways, where was I? Yeah, nothing bad's gonna happen, I think is what I said right before the stream dropped. Ironically. But anywho, I'm going to let everybody introduce themselves in just a second and their characters, and then we'll hand it off to Yaz. Before I do, real quick mention of sponsors, which I'm going to put into chat. First one being Fundamental RPG. It looks like this. It's a simple D20 system. We're running 4 different very different shows on it this season. Everything from high fantasy to sci-fi and everything in between. It's really cool. And you can pick it up on Amazon if you want like the physical book like this, or if you are more of a digital copy person, or you just want the PDF. It's currently on sale until the end of the month at coffee.com/raven/shop. Like it says in the bottom left hand corner of the screen, just add /shop to the end of it. Or you can just go to coffee.com/raven. There's lots of other stuff there too that's really cool. But yeah, that's Fundamental RPG. You can also, at the same website, pick up Intrepid gear, which is adventuring gear for real life. Lots of really cool stuff with tabletop or adventure themes. I'm currently using my Intrepid coffee mug for my tea today. So it's cool stuff. You should check it out. And then finally, Die Hard Dice, which are incredible dice. I use them almost exclusively in my dice bag. They sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set this month. The camera doesn't really do it justice. They look even better in person. But they're really cool. You can pick up your own set at dieharddice.com. And if you use the code BlackFeatherMay, capital B, capital M, all one word, you can get 10% off your order. And then finally, if you would like to catch up on this show or any of the others that we've had on the channel, you can do so at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. Our whole stream library is there for free to watch. I believe that's everything. So starting with top left, which is Anina, tell us a little bit about your character and yourself.
Hi there, I'm Anina Kasky. I'm an actor and writer, and I have a YouTube channel. The Awkward Actress, I'll pop the old link into the chat so you can have a look. And I play Duri, which is sort of she is a Menninkainen, which is the Finnish version of a sort of little cute forest troll / leprechaun-y type creature. Apparently hobbits were based on them, so there you go. She's adorable. And Turi means luck or chance in Finnish. That's her special skill. She's incredibly lucky. Except I wasn't with my dice rolls last stream, but we shall see if I will actually be lucky this time.
Fantastic. Real quick, thank you to there was no name on it, but thank you to whoever donated on coffee and gave an advantage to Hannah. So that is now up on the board.
I'm willing to make a bet or two. Who that could be.
I have a suspicion as well. But next we'll go over to Paladin. Tell us a little bit about Balder and yourself.
Hi, I'm Paladin Hulk, Twitch moderator for Random Tuesday, Little Red Dot. And today I'm playing a wee little dwarf called Balder. I've got a big axe And apparently I'm working for a gang now that deals drugs, which is a new experience for me as I've not been outside my house very much. So making all the new friends, I guess. But it's mostly about the money because my dad's in the hospital. Also rent.
That's important. I love Balder.
Me too.
Please help! It's been 2 weeks and I forgot how great Baldur's voice is.
I know.
Totally forgot.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, I'm prepared to hear this. Nope.
I have so much serotonin.
My heart.
Next, real quick, go check out Rowan at Dastard Romance on Twitter. She's really cool and does a lot of really cool art stuff. She couldn't make it today, but she plays Dovak, which my character does not like at all, but the character's really cool. So hopefully we'll have her back next week. Next, Hannah, tell us a little bit about your character and yourself.
First of all, Rowan's character made me get back into my tarot readings, and it's been fantastic. Hello mortals, my name is Hannah, or Wohannah online, and today I am playing V, who is a changeling kidnapped as a baby, but it's not a big deal, it's fine. And I have affiliations with the Spring Court, but honestly mostly I just hang out in the city and do whatever I like, because what's life for if not living it up? And
That's
making
fair.
money.
That's fair.
This is fine, Raven.
This is fine.
It's fine. My soul was replaced with magic, but I like it better that way.
More sparkly.
Oh, goodness. It's true. Looks like I'm next. I'm Raven. I'm the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which is my brand for all the various things I do, most of which are tabletop related. All of that jazz is on my link tree, which is in chat. It's if you're watching this later on the Fantasy Network and can't see chat, it's linktr.ee/theraven, just like it says below my face, that spelling. And then I play Tilda, or Promethea, as she's known to literally everyone in the city because she never shares her real name, who is from about, 40 years in the past, I think it was. My brain doesn't want to do numbers today, but a hearty jaunt into the past is where she is from. And she knows magic, and she was around right at around the time that the Fae and human realms sort of started merging, where you've got the situation that we have now in Deus. Yeah, she's pretty much down to tear down the system, free magic for everyone, and really, really, really hates gods or fae or any organization or person that does the whole oh, you're down on your luck and in a desperate situation, let me give you a horrible deal that'll fix everything. She's kind of a magic terrorist, a little bit, maybe, towards people like that.
Depends on how you define terrorist.
Yeah, pretty much.
Revolutionary or terrorist?
Basically, that's pretty much what Tilda is. She does not pull punches here. But yeah, that's me and my character. Ekadorlax, tell us a little bit about Rusty and yourself.
Hello, I'm Ekinorlax, and at the current moment I'm just using all my spoons to keep my spoons drawer from getting even smaller, so there's nothing worth mentioning about stuff I'm doing because I'm not doing anything. And I'm, except playing here, Rusty. Rusty is a huge old stonekin, 2-story tall, metal statue that's almost as wide as tall. So yeah, that's big. And the statue sometimes moves and sometimes speaks. But the most the most visible part, lost the word. I mean, the thing you notice most about Rusty is their green brown raincoat and Wellington. So essentially, I'm playing a huge tent.
I didn't
sometimes
really
moves,
think of it
sometimes
that way, but yeah, you're not wrong.
He's a lovely, huge tent.
Does Rusty have camping
Absolutely.
skills besides being a tent? Like, can they make a fire? Can they roast marshmallows?
Well, Rusty doesn't know, but in theory, the physics says if you slap something hard enough, it will boil or fry. You can slap a chicken so hard, it will fry itself. So yeah, Rusty is strong, so probably it can start a fire this way. But Rusty doesn't know it.
I just picture him crushing a chicken into a diamond, like somehow. Is it
Is
this?
that what happened to Captain Nuggies?
No. Yes, why?
Captain Nuggies.
I've heard those diamonds don't sell very well, though. People find them a little foul.
Nice.
Oh, I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Anyways,
Wouldn't want it any other way.
Yes, tell us about your wonderful self in this wonderful world that you've brought for us, and take it away.
My name is Yasmin, or Bodalia Art. I am a visual storyteller, and anything that encapsulates. Neon Devils is a splinter cannon from a larger project that Troll and Prettiest Princess and I have been working on. And it's awesome. I'm having a lot of fun getting to play in this. And last episode, it is a sci-fi-esque urban fantasy that takes place in the city of Old LA, which holds up the secondary city Deus Angelis, which was built over the dregs of a crippling civil war that happened when magic and a Tau, the name for non-humans, came like revealed themselves to the rest of mortal kind. And this city has since advanced and grown. And last week, our incredible cast and characters found themselves in need of some work, picked up a job, evaded kind of got a bit of a car chase in, evaded some terrible things, made some big messes, and made a contact who has more work for them. Was there any details that you guys wanted to add to that? Otherwise, I will set the stage for us to get started.
I mean, Promethea did some stuff to the veil we were working on.
The drug that you guys were working on were bad batched.
I remember everything.
We had a little.
That's right.
We had a little conversation where Rusty discovered that Baldur isn't the typical Stonekin, which I thought was really fun, and vice versa, because Rusty's also not the typical Stonekin.
And we had the little pebble talk.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just right in the feels.
Yeah, that's right. Tilda sabotage some of it so that instead of they get supposed to like take you to one of the cities, but instead of doing that, you just sort of like are stuck just outside your body, sitting there waiting for it to wear off.
That'd be torture, by the way.
So fun.
Torture. Okay.
It's just like, well, guess I'll sit here.
Delightful.
Imagine it's like the first time somebody takes it and they're like, this is terrible. Drugs are terrible.
It's so awful. Jesus.
I woke up looking like an impressionist painting.
It's exactly what happens. So you guys, you exchanged contact information with Magweed, and I assume you all piled back into the car with the intention of taking it back to Vectra and getting paid for the work that you were doing. Is that correct?
To get paid.
Yes.
Is there anything that you wanted to do before getting there?
Probably finger guns at Magweed as we're leaving.
Very important.
Magweed does finger guns back to you.
Yes.
Cool. I don't think Promethea would do this, but I really want to push one of the buttons. There's like 6 buttons and we don't know what they do, and I want to know what they do.
What, in the
That's-
car?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the radio stations. There's 6 pre-programmed radio stations.
Yeah.
It's
That
all
might
the
be
same.
what they
It's
are.
all the same station.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope it's rock.
That took me longer than it should have. That's amazing.
That's fair.
But no, she probably won't push the buttons. Player really wants to know what they do.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean,
So
They're
hard when your
there
character has more
to be
self-control
pushed.
than you do.
Yep.
that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Your drive is fairly effortless. Did you want to have any conversations on your way back?
Well, Duri's driving, but she'll keep an ear out if anyone's saying anything interesting.
I'm sitting next to you, and I'm saying nothing interesting, but I am talking a lot.
Well, Duri likes that. She'll humor you. She likes
I
to.
might like at Tilda be like, so Promethea, huh?
That's a pretty name.
You are
you.
correct, Tootie. It is.
Thank you. It's sort of after the god who brought fire to humanity.
Prometheus, huh? Wasn't he given like eternal punishment?
Yeah, I'm hoping to avoid that part. But
Learning
that's
from
kind
the
of the
past
general
there.
idea is to bring magic to everyone, not just the stuck-up rich people who like to take advantage of people who need magical favors.
Did someone give you that name? Or did you make it up?
I pretty much just chose it.
Is it like a magical name?
Sort of the opposite, actually. I've learned and through reading history and things like that it's generally not a good idea to give everyone your real name, especially when Fae are involved.
My name's Balder.
Yeah.
Thank you, Balder.
Yeah, I've always
I-
been called Duri. That's like all I have. And it's
Should I have
well,
a
it's never
different
been
name?
unlucky for me.
Oh no, Balder, your name is perfect.
That's a good
Like
name.
Rocky?
Just if someone asks if they can have your name, tell them you can call me Balder.
Mm.
Because you don't want to give someone your name. It's yours.
Would be a very bad idea.
All right.
I imagine V does a little bop on his nose or something.
Yeah.
So cute. I just want
Yeah.
to retch.
But yeah, Tilda's
We
just like,
three
yeah,
are adorable.
I just that's my name. That's how I got it.
All right.
So when you're not, messing up drug shipments, what do you do?
Pretty much that type of thing. I help a lot of people that come to me needing some sort of spell or charm or something like that. Something that they can't fix on their own. And then I just let them know what I need to do it. Sometimes they, pay me some cash or something like that, just enough to get by. But I do that, and then I also look for people who are abusing magic and abusing their power, and make it so that they don't do that anymore, one way or another.
What do you count as abuse?
Well, let's say you see somebody and they're in a bad situation. They've run out of money, or they're sick, and they're desperate to get something that they need to just survive. And you have the ability to make that situation better for them. And instead of just doing so, you take something extremely important to them, or make them, like, I don't know, sacrifice memories or something like that. You know, in exchange for that. Like, that would be kind of abusing your power.
So if you're helping people, but you're also hurting them, that's bad. That's abuse.
Pretty much. Or if you're helping them so that you can abuse them, essentially.
But if the people know in advance what they're doing, isn't that still good?
I'm sorry, what?
If they know in advance what you're doing, isn't that still good? You know, if they say, hey, I can give you $1 million, and then I take your memory of that day at the beach where you peed your pants. And they're like, sure, take it. Is that not good?
Something like that would be good, but generally these type of people are going to want something like your favorite memory of some loved one that's passed away. Or something that gives you yourself of your sense of identity. They're going to ask for something like that.
Identity is such a fragile thing.
Aye, this is complicated.
See, I
It's
usually
very-
just ask for money. It's simpler that way.
That's what I think too.
What if
So
you're
you do
not
ask
helping
for money?
or hurting them? If you see a poor person with nothing left to lose on the street and you do nothing.
Oh, right. That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, the people like that, you go help them instead of saying, "Hey, I see that you don't have anything, so I'll take, this one precious thing that you do have to get you out of this situation because I'm an asshole and I want to do that to you."
Right. That's bad. But is doing nothing, is that fine then? Because I've seen a lot of poor people, walking around the neighborhood.
Well, you have
It's
to
a
take care of yourself.
That exactly. You have to help as many people as you can, but you can't help everyone. So that's when you lead by example and you teach other people how to do things like help people who don't have anything. And then if enough people start doing that, everybody starts getting lifted out of the bad situations, and the whole world improves. And yeah, I do favors for money if they can pay. But that's just so I can survive.
The revolution
Right.
isn't going to fund itself.
Essentially. But if they can't, then that's okay too.
So why did you take this job?
Because revolutions don't fund themselves.
And to
Oh.
cause a little bit of fun.
Yeah. I can do two things at once. I can make life more interesting for people who prey on people looking for drugs or escapism, and I can make some money while I'm at it to do other things. Revolutions aren't a clear-cut sort of job.
No, they never have been, have they?
No.
V,
There's a
you've
lot of
done a
gray
revolution.
involved.
Sorry?
V, you've done a revolution.
Oh, but I know about them.
Viva la revolution!
Yep.
Sorry.
It's great because her full name is Vivian, so you just cut that middle V and you're like, ah.
V for Vendetta. Yeah, we're all about it.
I couldn't help myself. Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I love that. I'm also loving chat, by the way. I haven't had a chance to respond, but chat's amazing right now.
Oh, yeah, y'all are
Um,
fantastic.
Did Rusty have...
Rust.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Rusty is gently tapping on the wall because Rusty is in the back. Of course, by gently tapping, it's like somebody's trying to break the wall apart.
Whoa. Can someone calm down back there?
I just wanted to ask a question. back to the names. You say your name is Baldur.
My name is Baldur.
Yeah, how do you spell that?
I.
You want some help, Baldur?
As this, and I'll pull out like a card that has it written on it. See, there is a bee at the front, but
No.
not the animal. That's different. It's a different kind of bee.
Can I see? Is there some sort of window between?
Oh yes, there is a window. You would be able to see
Oh, I see. I got it wrong the first time. I thought you are called Boulder.
Oh,
Like
Boulder.
a
No, it's
small
Baldur.
pebble who thinks themselves to be Boulder.
Yeah. No. I think I was named after some Norse god.
I think I don't know much about this, but I feel like Tilda at this point would start like Wikipedia page reciting everything about Baldur the Norse god.
Yeah.
Because like that was her thing, is studying like occult and mythology.
Baldur's a pretty cool dude. Mythological Baldur.
So,
It's true.
Promethea, you don't get out much, do you? Just a lot of books.
You can
That's
know
a
a lot of
Tilda
things
or
and still get
Baldur?
out. Oh, she said Promethea.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just missed who it was. Tilda looks at Tori. It's just like, I didn't for a while, and then I got out a lot.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm gonna keep throwing in little things just for you, yes.
I appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, I got out a lot after I didn't get out for a long time. And she just like leaves it purposely that vague.
Not much of a talker either.
She's been talking plenty.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yes.
You don't
Talks a
have to
lot,
say
but doesn't
anything.
say much.
Yeah.
And Tilda doesn't this version of Tilda anyways doesn't have glasses, but she is giving you somehow the pulling down the glasses and looking over them like librarian look without having the glasses.
It's no offense. Everybody's got things they want to keep secret. I don't care.
I don't.
Tilda just nods.
Duri is completely unfazed. Completely unfazed.
I would turn to tell everyone all my secrets, but I think Turi stops me from talking.
Yes.
At that point.
Yeah.
Shush.
It's okay. It's okay.
Some things we
Um,
keep to ourselves.
So
Yes.
is there anything else you would like to add before pulling up to the docks? It's probably about like 20 to 30 minutes of a drive back.
Is no one following this time?
Nobody is following you guys this
Excuse me.
time.
Radical.
Could
Before we get
I-
out of the truck, can we honk the horn?
Yes.
I'll let
I
you
love
honk the
him
horn.
so much.
I'll stand on the chair and like jump for the.
We're not in a semi. We're just in a regular like F-150 or
Whatever.
something. I thought.
It's a fusion. It does
Right.
a lot
I
of
forgot
things.
it's a fusion.
Someone modified
Yeah.
it to have the.
Yeah, I'm roll
It's
with it. You can, I just want the image of Baldur doing that.
If we've got that much time, could Tilda possibly prepare some sort of like protection spell for everybody in case something goes horribly wrong at the other end? Because she always
Oh,
assumes it
Protection. Oh no, did we lose you?
Oh no.
Logan.
Oh.
will. Son of a gun.
Come on.
Yep, it's-
Come on.
No, you came back to us.
Yeah, the stream's
If
still
we
down,
all
though.
hold
Dang
the
it.
magic together.
hate the internet here.
Maybe if I can.
Oh,
I
it's
know
this one.
exactly how you feel.
I've seen this before.
Oh, we're in a rave.
Wow.
Uns.
Yeah. That's what happened
Oh.
during the time
it's
travel
back.
finale.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right, I think it's back. So I was wondering if Tilda could work on like a protection spell for everyone in the vehicle, specifically for like if people start shooting at us when we get out of the car when we get back.
Yes.
To do something like I don't know, like a one-time one armor versus bullet type thing.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you roll magic for me, and depending on what you get, I want you to describe what materials you're using to put this charm together, how you do it.
Okay. Yay, success.
Nice.
I've gotten used to fundamental, and my brain was like, "Oh no, a 10."
So I think Tilda just asks everyone for some small personal item that they have.
Uh-oh.
It could be
Oh, no.
I'm grabbing my selenite for clarity.
dang it. Internet, why? All right, it's back.
Yay!
Asks for some type of personal item. It could be like a button or a hair
Piece
clip,
of
anything
hair.
like that.
Paper
Yeah.
clip.
And she's like, I'm going to
Don't give my paper clip.
put a very small charm on these items. It won't last long, but I just have a funny feeling there might be some trouble when we get back. So if bullets start flying, this will help. If you want one, I can give it to you. If you are wary of it, you don't have to give me anything. And whatever you give me, I will give right back.
I mean, I'm in the car, so we're probably gonna be okay.
I meant for when we get out of the car.
Yep. Fine. And then she takes like a hair tie out of her hair. There you go.
Okay.
I'll give you a screwdriver.
Fantastic.
Fee takes out an earring.
Okay.
Rust rolls up a little their sleeves and mashes their wrists together, breaking off a small chunk of glass.
Okay. And then Tilda takes this thing that looks like almost like a block of is it rosin or resin that you put on a
Resin.
that you put on a bowstring?
It's raisins. It's raisins.
It's resin.
No. It looks like that. But it's actually some I don't know. Let's what could it be?
You could do powdered basil in resin honey.
Okay, that works. That makes a lot more sense than something like unicorn tears. Which was all I could think of. Something like that. And just like kind of rubs it over each item while reciting something in we're gonna go with Cajun French from the book that she has on her belt.
All right.
And then hands
I
it back to everybody.
almost was gonna make you translate what the incantation was, but I was like, no, we're still too early in the game for that.
And can you do the Gambit accent?
No, I can't. I wish I could. I've tried for another character of mine. I just couldn't get into the accent properly.
It's not easy because it's
Cajun's
not a
not.
real accent. It's someone doing a bad job of doing the
Yeah.
correct accent.
But like, I can't even do like
It's
a proper
great.
Cajun accent. It's really hard to do if you're not from there.
Valid. Very valid.
It's like a mix of at least two, and it seems to like fluctuate. It's wild.
And you, once you're all done, because I can't speak today, you pass these objects back to your
I
people,
eat mine.
right?
You eat?
Yep.
All right.
Ooh.
I love it. Okay.
I think we need to feed you more, Baldur.
Maybe.
Why? That's the best way to store things for Stonkin. Rusty's doing the same.
Gonna put my earring back in.
I love it.
I'm
I
gonna
love
take
it.
the head tie, and this is what Turi's hair looks like. So she's
So
just
cute.
Doesn't
Um,
that get sticky because that's honey? You've just put honey
It's
in your
like-
hair.
powdered honey, like it's a resin, so
Shiny.
it's not super sticky. I just, I wouldn't leave it out in the sun and then put it in your hair.
I don't know how hair works. I don't have any hair.
I'll make it work.
That's true.
I'll make it work.
It's more like it's more like an oil, like kind of texture, I would think, than like a honey sticky texture
Yeah.
that it puts on there.
See, shiny.
I wish I had hair. That looks good.
Aw, thank
You could
you.
get him a raccoon to wear on his head.
We could get him like a bit of like astroturf.
Yeah. Okay.
AstroTurf is good. That is a good idea.
Yes.
Like I'm not gonna do it, but that's real good for like an NPC or something. Amazing.
For your guys' notes, can I have you add +1 armor for 3 turns in case it comes up?
Okay.
I'm just gonna remember.
Okay, that's fair.
Mm.
I mean, good luck.
Let us know
I
when the
forgot
3 turns are over.
I forgot to mention, Tilda puts it on a... How to describe this? Yeah, we'll go with that. What looks like a men's ring, almost like a class ring type thing that has a bee on it, mysteriously. Puts it on that.
The boulder bee or the animal bee?
Like the Baldur bee. I'm gonna say she wears on a chain around her neck.
My fucking heart.
You're welcome.
So
Okay.
who's B? Who's B? Is that your bow?
I'm B. That's the first letter of my name.
It is.
Tilda like tries really hard not to look like possessive and defensive about it. Doesn't quite succeed.
Is that like a best friend necklace?
I think it might be
Something
something
like
more
that.
than a best friend. Right? I'm right, aren't I?
But best is the best.
It's an important person. Yes.
Oh, I'm right. I'm so right. Where are they now?
I don't know.
Oh. That's a bummer.
I tried to find them, and they're not where I remember them being. So I'm not sure where they are now.
Oh, sorry.
My dad says you'll find them when you stop looking.
That's actually kind of what I'm trying to do. It's good advice. Your dad sounds like a smart person.
Did it end badly? Was it
Oh
like
no, not at all.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry you can't find them.
It's all right. It's finding them is inevitable. It will happen.
Okay.
No troll.
Yeah, this
No.
is literally what Turi looks like. Like, she's like, what? What? She turns to Viv and go, is that some sort of like really, really drawn out foreplay?
I mean, people are into different things.
I'm trying so hard not to wheeze right now.
Yeah. I think Tilda just looks at Tori and just deadpan, just blank look, just super serious, goes, oh no, our foreplay wasn't that drawn out.
Turi just looks even more confused. Okay. And you're just fine with not knowing where they are.
Oh no, I'm very not fine with it. It's just I have to, work with
Oh
what I
yeah,
have.
revolution. The revolution.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do they look like? Maybe you have seen them walking around.
He'll just sort of takes a breath and kind of mutters under breath, like, everybody wants to ask 20 questions. God. She'll give a basic description. Yaz, would you like to describe what they look like, or what they looked like?
The last that Tilda had seen of them, they're very tall, slender, black swept back hair, Caucasian, dark eyes, wears all black, smokes a lot, drinks a lot.
Human?
It looks human, but has very bird-like features. Very sharp. Does Tilda give their name?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
We're just gonna headcanon that it's Brittany, based on the B.
It's okay. I'm not gonna steal your bow. I'm just curious.
So you actually get a genuine laugh out of her at that suggestion. It's like,
I've not seen
I'm
your
not
friend.
worried about that.
Hey, I'm really cute, you know.
That's
Oh
true.
no, you're very cute. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd not to be forward, but I'd probably do you. But I'm not worried about you like taking them from me.
Thanks.
Hard to take someone you can't find.
You can't steal people. That's called kidnapping.
True.
That's bad.
Balder's right on it.
That's correct.
This conversation's killing me.
Rusty is always few lines behind. You know, Baldur, you can get some hair if you stop moving for long enough. They will grow. It's easier when you're older.
Mm.
I mean, it's not hair, it's moss, but I think it works the same.
My dad's got that.
Yeah, it didn't work for me because it needs watering.
Mm.
All right, so we
Valid.
got a very, very wonderful donation from Hannah for 3 crits.
Yay!
Looks like one
Thank
for
you.
me, one for Paladin, and one for Anina.
All the people
Ooh,
who don't
thank
already
you.
have advantage.
Yay!
Ooh.
Thank you so much for helping
Thanks.
everybody out.
Thank you so much.
So as your conversation begins to kind of hit that lull, you have pulled up to the docks. The docks.
I feel like we sit in the truck and have this conversation while they're
Yes.
like, why aren't they getting out of this truck?
Yeah, we definitely parked
Like
and
you
had that
pulled up to
conversation.
the back and they opened the door and like 2 of these more like mottled green, blue, and dark gray skinned managers of the site are kind of just like, what the fuck are they doing in there? Like trying to be like, hello, to get you to come over and like get out of the car and report and whatever. And I assume that you finally realize that one of them's waving at you, like they are ready to come up and start slapping the hood of the car, kind of
Hi!
Oh, everyone's in a rush. Give me a minute. And then I actually park, handbrake the car.
thing. Cool.
Finally.
I think we all pile out at that point.
I would
Hand over
hope
the
so.
signed whatever.
They kind of look you over. They check their watches. You're not too far past the expected time that they had assumed. And they kind of like squint at you and be like, "Where's the paperwork?"
Oh, I have it. Here you go.
And they take it and they look it over and they check it and like check it again, like they smell at it to make sure that it's actual ink and not a trick. And once it meets their expectation, they pull. They kind of like one of them tucks it into a leather jacket, and the other one's like, "All right, come in and let's get your pay squared away." You came in at the beginning of the shift, correct?
Aye.
And they walk you back into this warehouse. Yes.
I'm taking tires with me.
Oh, good. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right, the
You've
tires.
got your tires with you. They don't go too far into the warehouse. They sit down at a desk. The two of them, they kind of like exchange like words with each other. You can tell these two don't really get along with each other. And one of them just like harumphs and walks off, and the other one starts filing through a little box on the top, checks your names, make sure that you are the people you said you are.
I try
and
to follow the one that harumphs until he tells me that that's not what I'm supposed to do.
How close are you following him?
Super close.
Well, I assume that he stops for a minute because
And then I walk
This-
into him.
he turns around. He's like, "What are you doing?" He snaps at you.
I'm following you.
No, go back to where the table is.
Oh, look, all
This
right.
is why you don't hire Stonekin for a job. And he mutters and walks off again. It hurts my heart to be mean.
I ain't spelled them.
Go get your payment.
So rude.
Go back.
Balder, come over here.
And he hands you each an envelope. And the envelope has about $800 in it, each of you.
Ooh, there's money in here.
Dang.
They paid you.
Safe, Baldur. Don't eat it.
He knows not to eat it. He's been paying rent for a while.
Well, my dad pays the rent, but I've seen it happen. I'm supposed to give this to Mrs. Johnson.
So cute. Oh my god, I love him. So you guys get squared away. There is no action on the front. You are able to leave the warehouse. Now, Tilda, you know this area kind of well. And you
You're getting gifts.
Aw.
I do have water. I'm taking new, I guess. Thank you. So
That's so cute.
Tilda, you know that there is this awesome pub. You know that it's a Tau friendly. And it's probably like only 2 or 3 blocks from where you are. And if you happen to mention this pub, both V and Turi would recognize it. Maybe not well, whatever your association with it is up to you, but you would recognize the name.
Okay.
I know all the bars.
Yeah,
She'll
I've been there.
suggest it to everyone as like, let's go celebrate a job well done. First round's on me.
Great idea. Let's go.
I probably shouldn't go, because if I go along with you, I will just get attacked by monsters and I'll ruin the whole night. So I should just
No, you
go
won't,
back.
Baldur.
But Promethea already gave us protective spells, so we're fine.
Aye, but it would still happen. I'm supposed to avoid all the monsters. So,
You're coming with us. Endo.
You don't have to if you don't want to, but we would love to have you
but
with
Julie
us.
said I've got to come now, so I've got to
Well, technically you don't have to come, but you can come. And if you want to come, you don't need to be afraid of monsters. You
See, I'm
very
lucky.
rarely.
I'm lucky.
I meant that you very rarely meet anything more scarier than me.
Yeah.
That might be. Yeah. Maybe just for a bit then.
Just for
But
a
if
bit.
a monster shows up, I've got to leave.
Okay.
Deal.
Tilda's just doing that whole like, you know, when like a child is saying something and it's really cute and you're trying not to laugh because they're very adamant about what they're saying, but also it's adorable and you want to laugh, and so you're just sort of covering your mouth and like smiling, going That's pretty much what Tilda's doing.
Hey, you say
All
that
right.
now until a giant eagle monster shows up and wants your liver. Yeah.
I'm
What a
just
s-
pulling something.
What a
up.
specific punishment.
Yeah.
It's only one donation away.
Weirdly specific thing you said there.
So you guys show up in the pub and you kind of like square your way in. Everything is made of concrete and stone. It's open, very tall, so even Rusty can fit inside, but there is a patio deck where you can sit outside if you so choose to. But as you walk in, there is a TV playing, and it seems to be playing an emergency broadcast. Does anybody listen? Not like an emergency,
yes.
but like a urgent news kind of thing.
That's always
Yeah,
urgent
definitely
news.
listening.
Yes,
All right.
also V.
So when you tune into it, this is about what you hear is urgent. This just in. This is DAEN, and we come to you from our live drone feed of what appears to be the aftermath of what officials are speculating is a possible terrorist action in Old LA. We have here in the studio City Councilor Andre Demore to weigh in on the display of violence. You see the picture of Andre and the reporter sitting together, and Andre says, "We know that this attack and the one earlier today are possibly related. The police department was blindsided this morning by the absolute destruction of one of the historic towers in Old LA, the living place of many of the affluent Holdra women we've come to respect and support in this community." And the reporter says, "Andre, is it true that the courts have found hundreds of people freed from their debt to this organization?" And Andre continues, "I wouldn't paint it in that manner. The Holdra did a great deal of good for many of us in this community. I wouldn't want their reputation to be tarnished by ignorance. We should instead stand together against the violence against a Tau. Our community mourns their loss, and we light candles for them. The attack on them was planned and swift. We do not know what or why, but we are looking into the circumstances surrounding this attack." Reporter goes on, "Thank you again, Andre, for your input. Deus is shaken by the attack being right beneath our feet. You mentioned that the second attack against the notorious gang leader is likely connected. The DLAPD have not released any further news from the event except that it was a massacre and the leadership did not survive. Is it true that DLAPD was busy during this time cracking down on one of the biggest Aswang sting operations?" And Andre continues, "Yes, DLAPD works incredibly hard to keep our city and the old LA safe, and that including acting upon anonymous calls about gang movement and activity. The city wouldn't be able to get as much done without you all, the citizens, keeping an eye out on each other." And he kind of gives this wink at the screen, and the reporter says, "Thank you again. This has been DAEN announcement. Tune back in for the mayor's address." And then it rolls to like commercials and shit.
I have meanwhile
Tilda-
built a tower out of beer coasters.
Yes.
I used to do
Tilda's
that with
just got,
the little
like-
milk cream.
Oh yeah.
Creams.
Tilda's got her glass of whatever she's drinking, and just goes, Holdra leadership got wiped out. You hate to see it happen.
What's the holder? Is that a monster?
Yes.
So,
pretty much.
Promethea, you've been busy.
She grins, and I think she's just going to let people think what they want. She's not actually taking credit for this, but she's also not saying that she didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, she is not taking the credit. I see.
She's just like, I get around.
Impressive. Impressive.
I'll do a little topic change. Be like, they sure do like to encourage that snitch line.
Yeah, you noticed that too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're definitely bought, whoever they are.
Natches end up in ditches.
Yes, Balder.
Did you teach him that, V?
I would never.
Oh, I know you.
Hmm.
You shouldn't teach him stuff like that.
He's not going to be in his house forever.
I know, but one thing at a time.
Is it not true? The snitches not end up in ditches?
Well, it's not untrue.
I just make their tongues
Ditches
fall
end
off.
up in ditches.
Just not every time. Ugh, it's just-
Depends on how good they are at snitching, but I like to think they mostly get what's coming to them.
Rainwater also goes into ditches.
yes.
We like rainwater better than snitches, though.
So
Rainwater is extremely useful.
What?
you guys do obtain your drinks. Do you sit inside or outside?
I like the idea of a patio.
Yeah, well, how
Maybe
nice
it's
is
just
it
because
outside?
I haven't gotten to eat out.
Yeah.
It's late spring, and it's evening, so it's a little bit on the chilly side and a little bit on the muggy side.
Mm.
That's fine. Tilda's got her leather jacket, so she'll be comfortable.
Cool. Can I have you all roll sharp for me?
Yeah.
Ah, my first chance for experience.
Oh, great. Me too.
Nailed it. It's so funny with Monster of the Week. 'Cause
Dang
I'm
it.
like, oh, just to notice something, fail. Dang it, I succeeded. The stakes aren't high for this one. I could get an XP.
Yeah, only me and Anina winning this roll.
Yep. All right. So you guys, whatever it is, your food, your drinks, y'all are invested, except for Rusty and Tiri. And
I got an 11.
oh, and Promethea.
No.
sorry,
I
missed
meant
that.
we won the experience.
I got you.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
mixed myself up.
Alder and
V
I are
and
mixed.
yes. Dang it! I can't keep my numbers straight.
Numbers are hard.
Okay, so
So-
if you got a
Yeah.
mixed success, during the course of the time that you're staying here, the mixed success, you would notice kind of like a more rowdy bunch of kind of like lizardy sort of people. You would know them as called dragonkith. They have horns. Some of them have like brow protrusions. Some of them have scales, and they seem to be pretty hammered on whatever it is that they're drinking, having a really good time. But their good time to them is far more aggressive than the good time to most of the other patrons, and you can kind of see that they're sort of like the patrons have sort of backed off from this group of rowdy dragonkith.
The Russian tourists.
Yeah.
My experience with them. It's this.
Tilda, you notice, and it takes you a little bit of time, like maybe you guys have ordered your second drink or your food has finally showed up. But in this group of rowdy dragonkith, you notice that somebody like is not quite as rowdy as the rest of them and has made eye contact with your table, and they seem to be watching him.
I think Tilda's going to do. Remember when I said the somehow giving the looking down your glasses like a librarian disapprovingly at someone look without the glasses? That's the expression she's giving back. Sort of like a raised eyebrow and like, you want to look somewhere else, buddy?
The man, the dragon kid picks up his glass and drinks and makes an effort not to look at you now that he's been seen.
Tilda's just gonna raise her glass and like towards them and take a drink and ignore them.
All right.
Is that monsters over there?
The bar is full of monsters.
Right.
I think Tilda's gonna look
no
at
real
Baldur.
ones. They're just people. Okay.
I think Tilda's gonna look at Baldur and be like, in my experience, the real monsters rarely look, quote unquote, monstrous.
Oh no, I've seen some real monsters.
Most of the ones that I've seen look mostly human, actually.
Hey,
Monsters,
how
have
about
you seen
don't
Baldur?
scare him? How about
Just
you
a
don't
few.
scare him?
Just a few. If you're right and they look like people, then there's a lot more that I've got to avoid. It's gonna be tricky.
We'll help you, Baldur.
That one there looks like a normal human.
They probably are.
Yeah.
Except for the fish head, but that's a small part.
Some people just have fish heads.
Some people they come in all shapes and sizes. Some people juggle geese. They're just.
I've
You know,
never
people are
seen a
different.
geese.
I was super waiting for a pun on that.
No, just a quote.
Gotcha.
Baby geese
always
goslings. They were juggled.
best. It's always
I've seen a
best
gosling,
just
though.
wait and see. The truth usually reveals itself if you wait long enough.
And better than attacking someone who's not a monster.
Yes.
Oh, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
So heartfelt. So heartfelt. How long do you guys stick around? How many drinks do you have? Just so we're on the same page, the Stonekin don't process alcohol like normal. So we all
I'm
know.
not having anything anyway because it's not worth it.
That's fair.
Oh yeah.
I'm just
water.
for company.
Fair. All right. But the
How are
rest of
the-
you,
How are the Atau with drinks?
it depends on the Atau. Some of them can throw back alcohol like nobody's business. Some of them, alcohol doesn't affect them at all. And some of them, it's kind of more like a poison. They can't process it. It makes them really sick. So that's kind of up to you.
You
I
should see
think-
fire elementals. It's like,
It's a good time.
Oh, I love that.
I think
Uri
Tilda's had,
drinks
like-
like a champion. She drinks a lot because she's Finnish. So
More like an
Yes.
energy drink for fire elementals. I love that. Tilda's has had like 2 porters, and she's like nursed them throughout the evening, so not a lot
Know
of
that-
alcohol.
you
I
know
suspect.
that game that Iron Man and Nebula play at the start of Endgame.
Mhm.
Oh, the like.
No, I
Yeah.
want to play that with Rusty because it would never work and therefore be hilarious.
That's so good.
I love that.
Yeah, like either way, it doesn't work.
All right. All right.
I love that.
I imagine that V is very good at looking like she drinks a lot.
But not
Because-
not actually drinking much.
Yeah. Also, her drinks are all these like ridiculously neon cocktail things.
Ooh, I love those.
V is my aesthetic buddy.
I don't drink alcohol myself, so I'm just gonna do my best.
That's fair. That's fair.
There's always mocktails too.
Yes,
That's
there
always
are
an option.
mocktails.
I have a funny story about that for break.
So your night kind of continues with frivolity. You don't, for the most part, the dragon kids don't really. I mean, you catch them staring at you every so often, but they don't bother you in this space. You're served your food, you're served your drinks, and the energy in the pub begins to wind down. Do you guys decide to head home, or do you stick together and kind of just go dig around in the city?
Well, I'm definitely going to be walking Balder home.
Cool.
And I think
Yeah.
I'd leave early-ish.
So whenever
you know?
Balder wants to leave, that's when V's peacing out too.
Tilda will tag along for that too to make sure Balder gets home okay.
Uri would like to stay, but if everyone else leaves, she'll go with them.
All right.
I'm going to wink at the dragon kith as we leave, though.
Rusty, do you head out with them?
That all depends on locations. Do we need to go to the same part of the town?
You guys are in the wharf dock area. I'm not sure where Rusty's place, like where Rusty would sleep for the night, or if he's gonna hang out with the rest of the peoples. So that's kind of up to you. I'm trying to, because the Magweed said he would call you the following day, so not much is.
Yeah, but I already told Prometheus to be my contact and find me.
Oh, that's
Yes,
true.
last time. And well, I tag along with everybody as far as it makes sense concerning where the things are, where they live, where I live.
Okay. Can I have you all roll sharp again for me?
Ooh.
Ooh, I might level up. Let's see.
Working hard.
No.
Dang it.
9.
Mixed success. For Tilda, you don't really see it, but you do get the impression that you, like the moment you guys walk out of the pub, you get like the prickles on the back of your neck, like you're being followed. Both Tiri and Balder, as you're walking out, you see the dragon kid watch you guys all leave. Like all of their eyes are on you, like these bright, vivid yellow snake eyes kind of thing are just like tracking you as you are the last to walk out of this bar. And you close the door and you don't know what happens. You kind of turn and look out into the street, and you're pretty sure you can see those same yellow eyes glinting in the alleyways around you.
I think we have company.
Are we sure
Can-
they're not monsters? Because that seems very monstrous.
This might
Let's
be.
just call them bad news.
You know,
If they're just
Prometheus,
people, there's no problem.
our deal. If you consider them a threat, just say so.
Tilda would like to, as soon as we like turn a corner, do a quick glamour spell with let's go with some type of like crushed flower petals and rose water
All right.
that
Ooh,
she
smell
keeps in her
nice.
pocket for this. And as soon as she turns the corner, what I'd like to have happen is have her get these sort of pointed ears, sort of black eyes with yellow irises, pointy teeth, very red hair, and a red dress.
To it, to woo.
Oh,
Going on a hot date.
I'm gonna need you to roll for it.
Okay.
That magic.
13.
Nice. You are successful. Your pre-made spell batch for these occasions. And this does not affect any of your stats. It simply affects how you are perceived. You do your ritual to ensure that it is activated, and you pour it all over yourself or drink it or whatever. And
I like the idea of drinking it. Like it's just a tiny little vial. She just pops a cork, drinks it, and that's it.
And I imagine like a holograph is being, like those holographic cards you flip back and forth. That's kind of the effect as you are wrapped in your glamour.
Love that.
Beautiful.
And she just looks at the group and goes, yep. I'm disguising myself since we're being followed.
You going on a hot date?
We're being followed, so I'm making myself look different.
I love how unconcerned Tootie
It was
is.
a joke,
Oh.
you know?
Oh, will they not simpler know that you're you because you're with us?
Yeah, that's kind of the flaw here.
In anticipation of that, like Tilda has taken a few steps away from the group.
I think we just shuffle in and keep with you. 'Cause, team.
Tori's gonna take a couple of steps towards these eyes and just go, "Oi, lizard face, what's your fucking problem?"
I love Tootie. V's prepping.
The moment that you kind of break away and acknowledge them watching you, you hear a chorus of hisses and like the sounds of nails against like brick and tile deep in the darkness of this alleyway. And one of them like slithers up and perches, and they're kind of humanoid, kind of not. And they perch on the edge of the dumpster, and the one at the end kind of like does like the little like chipmunk raccoon thing and says, "You seem like a smart girl. Why not a trade instead?" And like they look past you, and like all of the eyes almost like have you ever like played treats with multiple cats or dogs where they all just like suddenly alert towards the tree and all their eyes follow? All of these eyes do that. They look past you and they look at Baldur, or in the direction of the group.
If you're here for me, can we do this another date when I'm not with my friends?
So like, what do they look like?
Half lizard, half human.
Sort of humanish lizards.
Okay.
How about a game of cards? I
You hear
win,
that?
you let us go.
That's not usually how this goes.
They chorus the S hissing sound again. And you can hear them speaking in a language that sounds more like rustling paper than anything else. And the other one kind of tilts its head and then tilts back to look at you, and like it's the pupils like widening and shrinking into slits again. And it says, "We don't want your cards. We don't want your prizes. I said a trade. You can walk away from here just fine. We won't bother you at all. We just want the tiny stonekin."
At this point,
No. See, no, because he's mine. He's my friend. So no.
Rusty, do I see any mailbox or anything like that?
Say that one more time.
Do I see any mailbox or anything like that?
There's more like
Trash can?
trash cans, lots of trash cans, bags of junk and shit just
Okay,
laying
trash
around.
can.
Raven.
Rusty makes a counter offer. I splat a trash can to a 1 millimeter layer with lot of noise.
Go on, Raven.
Can Tilda follow up on that? Because that actually ties in perfectly with what Tilda was about to do.
Yeah.
So as soon as Rusty does that, Tilda's just going to step forward with very different body language, very like femme fatale type of body language, just sort of slowly stepping forward, probably with heels, so it's making that, you know, clack clack sound on the road.
Oh, power clacking.
And just leans forward and goes, I don't know who you are, or what your problem with these people is, but as you can see, this is not easy prey, so I'd suggest you just run along now before things get bad for you.
Your Tilda and Rusty's very aggressive display sends you can see the reflection of their eyes, and that's the only like indicator of where they all are, of just like them like skittering and moving up and down the walls. And like, have you ever disturbed a spider's nest? It's kind of like the idea of like them just like parting and coming back and like hissing at you and being like, ah, no, fuck. And they don't want to negotiate anymore. They all launch their way out of the alleyway. One of them coming into contact with Tiri immediately, and the rest going after you guys.
Question for Paladin: does Baldur want to get out of here, or would he be inclined to stay and fight?
He's resolved to. This is just how it goes.
Because I can get us out of here.
Baldur wanted to fight me last time, so I think he's not opposed to combat.
Yeah, it's up to you, really.
Oh,
like he'd be fine with it, probably, but
I think we've got. Yeah, there it goes.
Oh,
Oh,
curses!
we'll be back.
Oh, the curses! The lizards killed the internet, just like all the conspiracy theorists said they would.
Oh, there's a rave. It's doing the
Rave,
rave.
I can stream rave.
I missed it last time.
The stream rave? What is All right, we're back. Gonna give this a try. It's hiccuping less, so hopefully it'll be enough to get us through here.
Fingers crossed.
Sassafras internet.
So, whilst we saw our heroes, they were being attacked by dragon kith. So the first our initiative is going to go Thierry, then Tilda and Rusty, and then V and Balder. So starting with Thierry, you're up to tell us what. Thanks.
It just started.
Thierry, you're up to tell us what happens. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, this is
Words
what
are
she
hard.
wants- This is what Duri wants to do. If one of them's pouncing at her, she wants to dodge out of the way, and the creature's just gonna like splat onto the wall. We're in an alleyway, right? Anyway, they're gonna splat into something. So she actually doesn't do anything. She just dodges out the way, and they injure themselves in the process.
I
Cat
believe.
and Tory luck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you roll cool for that, and your luck does give you advantage. So you may re-roll that if you're unsatisfied and take the higher
Cool.
roll.
Well, I am very unsatisfied with that. roll, so-
Let's do this again.
Oh no!
That's not.
You do have that crit.
I am very. I'm gonna use that crit. I'm gonna use that crit.
But the XP! The XP!
I am too annoyed because how is that possible? Statistically, how is that possible?
This makes me think of
This
the
is
last
rough.
thing I did against Medusa and Beyond the Wall. Where I'm like, no, no
Yeah.
failing.
I'm using the crit that our kind viewer gave me.
Yay! All right. So
She's
you
cool. Damn it!
this thing springs at you, and you almost don't duck in time. But right at the last second, you can feel their claws like grazing the back of your jacket, kind of thing. You're able to just like sidestep, luck being in your favor as you know it. And it does just faceplant into the side of the wall, like cartoon style, tail all kinked up kind of thing. And that brings us to Tilda and Rusty.
So for Tilda, I think she's just going to see all these lizards rushing out, and this is gonna be cheesy, but she's just gonna be like, "That's a boring conversation anyway," and pull out her pistol and start shooting at them.
All right, I'm gonna have you roll to kick some ass.
Okay. Hey, thanks for the host. 11.
Nice. You are successful. You
That's
can tell me
a,
how successful you are.
So it's a hand cannon, 3 harm, close and loud. So is the weapon description. So I'm imagining it's like this really big 45 or something like that. Just pulls it out and starts firing off rounds. So it's very loud. It's echoing off the walls and everything. And is she essentially taking out some of these
Yeah,
lizardkin or dragonkin?
Kith. It's ITH.
Okay, dragonkith.
Kid
I
or
think
something else.
Oh, dragonkin is a D&D thing. That's what it is.
We do have them. Different species.
Too many similar things together.
It's
Anyways,
fair.
in that case, yeah. Tilda's just like, boring conversation anyways, pulls out the 45 and starts firing off rounds and is just, she's not firing warning shots. Like, every bullet is hitting a critical spot on each one of these things. And it's just very like not like wildly firing, but just like takes a breath, aims, fires, takes a breath, aims, fires. And so every shot is just very calculated and very calm.
Cool. All right.
Focusing on ones that are getting closer to Balder.
Okay. Rusty, what are you doing?
As funny as it may sound, Rusty still wants to avoid the fight. That's because the definition of fight in Rusty's vocabulary is something only one side leaves. And while there are still Lizardkin Dragon Kid alive, that still counts as disagreement. So if we get to kill few and the others back down, then we avoided the fight in Rusty's philosophy. So Rusty wants to throw something very heavy at the group of Dragon Kid.
Okay,
like a car, a truck. Do we have something like that
all
around?
of those are there
Okay,
within your reach. Roll to kick some ass.
12.
Yeah.
Well done.
So you tell me exactly what it is how you succeed.
So I pick something that's heavy and near me, probably a truck, like an American truck, and I throw it at the group of Dragon Kid emerging from the alley, both to cut them off and warn them off.
Cool. All right.
Just straight into the group, and truck probably lands on the front of the group and still slides a few meters after the landing, pushing some others, throwing some others in the group away, but the front of the group is just under the truck, smashed.
Perfect. All right.
Leave us alone.
They're not entirely that smart. V and Balder, you're up. What would you like to do?
Balder?
Can I go first?
Yep.
God damn. Okay. First, I am gonna say, I knew I should have gone home. And then I'm just gonna, like, oh well. And I'm just gonna, walk towards the fight. And I'm gonna raise my hand without any energy. And I'm gonna summon a huge flaming axe. And, well, it's not flaming. I said flaming. It doesn't flame. It's a great axe. It's clearly magical because there's runes in it. It does sort of look like a normal axe, but every few seconds it sort of twitches and goes from its normal shape to like a dark lightning, and it sort of arcs towards all the bad guys a little. And for reference, a normal weapon in this game goes for about 1 to 3 harm, right? The Divine gets a powerful magical weapon, sort of like this one, and it does 3 harm. Mine does 5. So I'm gonna look around where they are, and I'm gonna just hop towards them, and they're gonna swarm me, and I'm gonna just cut them in half, 3 at once. And that's my turn.
Can I have you roll to kick some ass?
If I make my roll.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. There we go.
Wow.
Advanced
Double
success.
Yeah. You're better than good. You don't just get to do what you've said. I'll add a little bit of flavor to the end if you'd like to add anything else to that. You do your whole arc swing that you've got going on as the most reluctant, kind of apathetic hero I think I have ever seen, which I love. And in as you do so, and you see the arc of blood spatter and viscera just smear across the pavement of where you've been walking, you hear this faint sound. And as the arc comes to its full close, that laughter kind of ebbs just a little bit. And you don't hear
my
it.
dad's gonna be so disappointed. And I'm gonna go take a step towards the next one, which I'm assuming flee
Actually,
at this point.
all you well, let me get V. You get the opportunity to either observe everything that has just happened in a matter of seconds, or take your action.
I like the idea of observing.
Oh, stream
I'm
dropped.
very curious about this laugh.
Balder is the only one that can hear it
Okay, got it.
for now.
Uh-oh.
Hold up a
Oh,
sec.
did we lose Raven? Okay.
It is dropping in and out.
Are the cops coming for you?
They're coming for
Gotcha.
the internet, I think.
They're coming for the internet.
The internet police.
You, sir, are filled with porn. You're under arrest.
Damn it, not again.
We're coming for your browser history.
I meant the internet service provider, but you know. They keep stealing my bandwidth away. All right, it seems to have.
Balder is the only one that can hear the laughter, and
Son of a bitch.
V takes
Literally
a step
right
back
then.
to kind of assess and watch everything that happens. And this all happens incredibly rapidly. One thing after another kind of moment, like the truck gets wedged in the alleyway, literally missing Turi by the hair of her chinny chin chin. Oh no.
It's dropping in and out again. Thank you for the raid if you can hear us.
We struggling.
think
Internet is being really bad.
Oh, we're back! Yay! Kind of. That's not
Kinda,
too
sort
soon.
of. I'm gonna take a screenshot so you all can see what the ping looks like.
There is a ghost in the machine. We really gotta have a chat with the Knight of Mirrors. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is what it keeps looking like. I'm gonna put that into the Discord
I'm
chat.
so excited to level this character up.
Yes.
But I'm not getting any XP because he's good at stuff, but he doesn't roll.
Yeah, I don't have any XP so far.
Same.
I also don't
I'm
think I've
one
done
off.
much.
I'm one off leveling up.
So lucky.
Yeah,
Yes.
All right, I think we're back.
I get
Okay,
3
cool.
marks because we are learning sharp and rusty.
There we go. All right. Everything happens at once. The truck being thrown into the alley misses Tiri. It bars off the rest of the posse that was here to come get you, and the last remainders were like, they didn't even get to think about what happened after the next thing, because either they had their brains blown out or they were cut in half, or worse. And V, before you even have the opportunity to consider finding the fastest route out of here, the fight is already done.
Radical? Are there any
I'm so
alive?
sorry, everyone. This is all because of me.
Real
Is
quick,
everyone alright?
Before the internet drops again, thank you, DM Chris Solo, for that raid of 6. Welcome in. I hope you had a good stream.
Yay!
Yay!
Yay! I'm just like waiting for the next glitch to happen.
Yeah,
So
you had
Gotta
to
live
say
our
it.
lives like there's no glitch.
Is
Well, except
everyone
for the
all
cat.
right? Or did one of the monsters get you?
Rusty just pats the Baldur's shoulder. Don't worry, it's not your fault. The meat folk makes wrong choices very often.
No, they were here for me, definitely. This happens all the time.
Mm,
Oh well, and I'll just like
Why are-
collapse the axe into nothingness again.
As you do that, you again hear like the sound of snickering. Like the moment before it completely disappears, you just hear like that kind of snort
Yeah.
noise.
let's move. No point of making more points.
My dad's gonna
They
be
either
so
get that or not.
But why are they after Balder?
It's a good question. Tilda's like just reloading her gun and
Well,
has
that's
dropped.
just what they do.
Son of a gun! It dropped again. There we go. Tilda's just reloading her gun and has dropped the glamour.
I'm not supposed to fight him though.
Why aren't you
Why?
supposed to fight them?
There we go. It's back.
Did we lose Raven? No,
I don't know.
It's dropping in and out. I'm still here.
Yeah.
All right.
As if I fight him, then I get better at it and I get used to it, and that's bad. And then more monsters show up. I'm already pretty good at this whole thing, so
So, do you
I'm doing
mean
that
like
bad.
Spirit is
somebody
trying to prevent them.
for you? Like somebody's hunting you?
Oh, it's just monsters. They show up. That's what happens.
That's
Fight them.
weird.
No, it's normal. They've always done that.
I mean, they did not say your name, so maybe they just would take any little stonekin. They didn't say your
Oh,
name.
that's sad to think about. That when they're trying to get to me, they're also attacking all the other wee little stonekin. Hope that's not true.
Tiny stone kid trafficking.
Oh my god, that's horrifying.
I
We don't know
hope
if it's true. We don't know if it's true or not.
Are any of them alive? We could ask.
I don't think the ones I cut in half with axe are alive, but
No, I think those ones are
maybe.
dead.
And
I've heard
he-
that lizards can grow their tail back, so maybe it's their feet too.
I hope not. They'll just cause more trouble.
it would take for too long for us to wait here. We have jobs tomorrow.
Yeah, and I've got to get this money to Mrs. What do I call her? Johnson? Johnson.
Johnson.
To Mrs. Johnson.
Well, okay. Let's get your money to Mrs. Johnson then.
Let's go.
Hooray!
Hooray! So you guys head back. Oh wow. And so you get to your apartment building. It's kind of late. But you do know that Miss Johnson does stay up, and she understands the situation that you're in, and if you knocked on her door, she would not be bothered at all.
I had a thing where I was gonna just put the envelope full of money in her mailbox and then have my friend stop me because then she doesn't know who it's from. But I can't write my name on it.
Well, we can knock Balder. You can hand it to her directly, then she definitely knows.
Oh, but then she knows that I've left my house, and I'm not supposed to leave my house.
I'll write it down for you. Baldur. There. Now you can post it.
There we go. Now she knows it is from me. And I'll stick it in the letterbox.
Is this where you guys part ways, or do you stick together?
I'll be dropping.
sit with Baldur.
I'll be dropping him off at his house.
Okay. So you
I
guys,
live super close to where this would be, so.
I'm curious if somebody is after Baldur, so I'm sticking with Baldur for now.
okay. So you make it up to the apartment, and on your door there seems to be a poorly written note that has been taped just underneath the apartment number of your door, and it says, I didn't know how to reach you, so I left you a note. This is your father's nurse at the hospital. We just wanted to let you know that you should probably come by.
What does
Baldur.
it say?
It says
Is it an
insert-
eviction notice? Was that too late with the money?
no,
No, honey.
no, it's not
Oh,
that.
that's good then. Woo!
It's from the
What a relief.
hospital.
We
Oh,
we
is
need
my
to
dad getting released? That's good news.
go see him.
Oh,
that.
but I'm not supposed to leave the house.
It says you need to. It says
Oh.
here.
The
So,
nurses say you need to.
let's go.
Hmm. But now, but it's the middle of the night. Right.
I think we should go.
All right.
So you all together head towards the hospital, is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye out
So-
for anyone.
Okay. I
following
just
us.
wanted to
Curious.
make sure.
Yes.
I was gonna go do something, but now there's new stuff happening.
Sorry, I'm trying to obtain a couple little extra pieces of information for this segment that I'm going to be dishing out to you. Sorry, I've got my notes. There's like 3 things that have to happen. One of them does that.
Are we reaching the hospital or can we talk on the way?
You can talk on the way.
Because I wanted to ask Baldur, why is your father in hospital?
That's where they work, but also they were attacked and now they're hurt.
Raving.
Yeah, it's down again.
Curses!
Can't believe it's 2021 and we still don't have perfect internet.
Yeah.
We had to all be inside for a year. What were we doing not improving that?
Capitalism has learned that we'll still pay if their product is crappy.
Yeah.
So why make a good
Unfortunate.
product?
That's literally why this. Yep, it's completely dead. And now we're back.
Yay!
Cool. Yeah, it completely died for a minute there.
Yeah, you were gone.
All right, now let's see. We move people back where they're supposed to go.
Ah, I like that it defaults to putting me in the keeper spot so frequently. Clearly, I meant to GM. That's a joke. I can't
Yes,
even summon
it's
the
a
energy
time.
to GM my own personal games. I'm so sorry to my players.
You need to rename placeholder for Boulder. Boulder.
Yes. Inside joke.
No.
Yes. Do it.
No.
Do
No.
it.
I'm GMing a one-shot over the weekend, and the
Ooh.
players are all like, "I'm so excited," and I'm
we
like,
go.
"That's a lot of pressure now." All of a sudden.
I have to plan out
Maybe-
some stuff for my family game. Oh, so many games.
Maybe, hopefully, that total crap out of the internet was somebody over there like resetting something, and maybe it won't do it anymore.
Yes.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
A
All
girl
right,
can
next
dream, okay?
Next weekend we're playing D&D in person, and I cannot wait to be in the same
that's
room
exciting.
with people.
Oh, that's so
I know.
I'm
So
very excited.
nice. Around a table and in person. I think I'll
They're
have
buying
like
off
a.
mirrors with cat memes.
You know
I
what?
feel
I
like-
believe it.
I feel like my brain's gonna explode from like overstimulation when I see people in person.
It's my problem.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about that too, actually.
They're like, oh my god.
So, Rusty, you had something you wanted to talk about.
Yes, I wanted to know why Baldur's mother father ended in hospital.
Yes.
I knew Goron was a nurse. That's
Yeah.
their name. I remember correctly.
Yes. And I would still respond with that. That's because they work there, but also they were attacked by one of their patients and they got hurt, and now they're in the hospital to get better. Because that's what hospitals do.
Oh, I see.
Mm.
Oof.
Yeah, it's been a bit difficult, but you know, now I've got a rent paid all on my own, so I'm doing okay.
You did amazing, Baldur.
Baldur.
Maybe I should have saved some of the money to pay the hospital bills though.
Well, we might be having another job tomorrow, right?
Maybe that's what they wanted to talk to us about, the money. And I forgot.
Well, if we need some extra money, I have some, and you can pay me back.
Oh, that is nice. Thank you. All right, let's go and make sure that they don't throw my dad out of the hospital.
Can I have you all roll sharp for me?
Yes.
Yeah, time for more experience.
Come on, experience.
That is me leveling up.
Yeah.
I finally get one
Curses.
experience.
Why?
Is that all of you? Oh,
no.
wait, no, Tilda.
We got a mixed and a full
Baldur and
success, and then
Tilda.
all. The rest of us are all distracted by how sad we feel for Baldur.
No, it's still cutting in and out, but it's better, at least.
That's good. That's good. You both see two very different things. As you're making your way towards the hospital, you can see the facade of the hospital at a distance. It's everything's fairly pretty close. And it's all ringed and haloed in light. And Baldur, you see you're pretty sure you see it. No, you definitely do see it. There is a mysterious figure sitting on one of the ledges that make up the exterior of one of these buildings. Like super strange, wind whipping their scarf around, spooky, mysterious characters standing only side lit by the hospital lights at a distance.
So they're standing dramatically.
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds like some Destiny shiz.
Oh look, an actor.
I think this NPC might have a quest for us.
Ring. Tilda, you see not quite in any kind of detail. It's more of you take note of there above you, you get the whooshing sound of a large bird passing over. There's no large birds in this city. And you also get the absolutely unrelated, but you get the impression of being watched again from ground level. There are so many dark windows and alleyways and doorways and homeless people that are bundled up into corners and like little nooks in the buildings, that it could be a number of any of these people. But one of them, or some of them, are
Microphone.
They're watching you, Tilda.
Okay. Good to know. And sorry, I was a bit distracted with the internet stuff. Where are we exactly again?
You are probably like a quarter of a block from the hospital.
Okay, so we're out on the street. Okay. Tilda's just gonna take note of it, but not address it directly.
Okay, Balder, do you address the mysterious person standing on the ledge?
Do I talk to them? No. I point them out to the gang and say, "Oh, look, an actor." And
Y'all
that's it.
see it? You
Not
guys,
Ben.
you're like, oh, look, there is a person up there. Ow. But otherwise, if you just walk by, nothing seems to jump out of the darkness and grab you, and you make it to the hospital.
Don't worry, there's usually only one monster attack a night, so what should be good now?
It's a quota.
All right. The hospital is, yes, the hospital is as busy as you have ever seen it. Nurses and staff are absolutely overwhelmed with the amount of people coming in and out of the hospital on any given day.
Yes, we did have that like attack.
Ambulances are roaring in or like immediately leaving to go pick up and respond to the next emergency. And everything is impossibly dirty. It doesn't seem like how hard they try and clean everything. There is this iconic old LA grime that sticks to everything and in the cracks of all the surfaces. You know exactly where your father is. Your father is being cared for and tended.
I know the room number, yes.
Yes, so you would be able to find and get to him just fine. Do you?
I've never been here, so I'm a little
Gotcha.
nervous.
So you know the room number. There is a desk with some very frazzled looking. Keep tabs on all of the phone calls and everything else that's coming in.
If we can have a second of their attention, I would like to just like push the note over and be like, would this be from this hospital or have we been bamboozled?
Can I have you roll charm for me?
Yes. Am I trying to get them to answer truthfully or just being charming?
Just being charming.
Okay. Please be charming. I'm charming.
Yes.
Yay! Very charming.
I love the wink.
The woman looks up at you. Oh, yay, more raiders!
Oh, thank you for the raid.
Yay, right, and the internet is still working.
Yay! Yay!
I know how somewhere.
Good to see you. How was your stream? Thanks for coming in.
Yay! So you get her attention. She sees you. That wink works incredibly, and she's just like, she looks down the note and she looks at you and she says, "Oh no, that I definitely know who wrote this. We're in the right place. Room number? I don't know who the patient is."
I'll walk up to the desk and like eyes over the desk and like, "That's the room 420."
The woman just nods. She doesn't skip a beat, and she says, "All right, here, I'll just walk you up there. That way, I can make sure that nobody stops you. Let's go." And she like, sorry, what was that?
We're down again.
That's my job, making sure nobody stops us.
Yeah, you would be
Okay,
very
it's
good
back.
at that. Yes, I see. And she just turns around and dumps all the files that were in her hands into her associate's hands and runs off to lead you guys further into the hospital.
She gets to like abandon all her shit because I winked at her.
Yes. Gay panic.
That was a good wink.
And I'll talk to her as we go, and I'll say, "I'm sorry I was late with the money. I'll have it like today or tomorrow. I only had one day to find a job, and I did, but I also had to pay rent. So I'm sorry."
I don't really handle the finances, but I'm sure we can figure it out. There's a lot of programs to help out. Okay.
Are you friends with my dad?
I don't know. What's his name?
Goron, the work here as a nurse.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's really cool. Well, it's really cool. They have a lot of pronouns. Let's go. And she like very excitedly, she doesn't really seem like she's very aware enough to process things, like she's moving too fast. And she takes you up several levels. Like y'all get crammed into an elevator.
Literally just charm this woman?
Yeah, you did. She's just like, oh my god.
Oh no.
And so she gets you out of the elevator that y'all have been crammed into, that is ogre size. And she takes you down the hall, and this floor is a lot more quiet. It's just as busy, but there seems to be a weight of somberness that is kind of settled on everything. And she brings you right up to the door with the numbers 420 and Goran's sheet pasted to the front of it. And she knocks really quietly, and she waits for a second, then she peeks in, and she says, "Oh, good. Okay," and opens the door for the rest of you. And it is Balder's mother, father, and his nurse.
I have intentions to just hang out outside the door.
Okay. The girl who has brought you there gives you like that smile that's just like okay, bye, and just like zips off back towards the elevator.
Might have dropped again.
Whoops.
Yeah, it's going in and out again. I want to do a thing with Tilda as soon as the stream comes back.
Okay.
There it is. Okay.
There we go.
So while everybody else is going to the room, Tilda wants to look around for like, you know how they'll have reception desk areas with computers and stuff with patient information?
So there is a desk. It's a ways from where the room is, and there is a nurse sitting at the desk who is working on the information. Any other patient information is going to be on the doors of occupied rooms.
Specifically looking for a computer, though, with patient information. Do hospitals and healthcare work pretty much like they do now?
Yes. They might be a little bit more advanced. You do have to contend with the nurse, essentially, that's sitting there at the only computer that you can see on the floor. There are terminals, so like if you needed to normally access the internet, that would be something that would be in like a sitting room.
Okay. More specifically, talking about like hospital billing and like insurance and stuff still sucks.
Yes, it does.
Okay, cool. Then Tilda won't feel bad about trying this. Tilda's gonna go up to the desk and just mention to the person behind the counter and say, I couldn't find anybody else, but I think somebody's dropped something back there. They fall. It looked like there were some needles. You may want to go check on them back there.
Can I have you roll charm?
Point down the hallway. Sure. 11.
She's like, like you could see like just like the look of utter contempt and frustration on her face. This is not the first time this has happened. And she gets up from the desk, rolls her eyes, like frustratedly throws her pen back at the desk and stomps off in the direction that you pointed her in.
Okay. With her gone, Tilda wants to work a spell to essentially just mark all balances in the computer as 0.
Ooh.
All right.
So sort of like a record erasure spell, specifically for finances.
Okay. I am going to need you to do big magic for something like that.
Okay.
And I need you to tell me how you get that set up.
So I think Tilda's going to do a bit of alchemy for this, taking a existing spell that she has for like erasing information, like written information, and then tossing a little bit of runes and stuff in there to alter it to work for digital things, sort of like updating the spell to work for the current time.
Okay.
By probably like just drawing something on the computer tower
Okay.
with like a grease pen or something like that.
All right. Let me. I'm gonna have you roll, but let me come back to.
If this fails, I would like her to instead erase everyone's salaries.
Ooh.
I have a crit. It's not gonna fail. I'm willing to use the crit on this.
I was gonna say, if you need any help, I literally have a technology move.
Oh, that's really cool. All right, I'm gonna roll first though, just to see if maybe it works. It's a mixed success, but I have ancient magics. So when I use magic on a 7 to 9, don't choose a glitch. Instead, take -1 for it. I am perfectly willing to do that.
Okay. Let me come back to that because this is gonna do a thing. You're prematurely triggering a plot line.
Sorry. So to clarify as well, specifically what she wants it to do is not like erase people out of it or anything like that. It's just any balances that they had are now showing as paid and 0 is
Okay.
the outstanding balance for everyone in the system.
All right. We're coming back to that. Alder. Does anybody
The finance
else?
fairy, yeah.
Does anybody else stay out in the hallway?
I'll just intrude and go into the room unless
Okay.
I'm told to feck off.
I just peek into the room, but I'm not going in. I just peek
And-
to see what shape is Baldur's mother father in.
Bad shape. Actually, can I have shoot? I don't even know if this would be
Shoot's not a skill.
considered. I'm trying to think of, because like stonekin information, like it's not really considered a knowledge roll because it's part of you, who you are. Let me look at your stats real quick. V, you stayed out, correct? Raven, are you okay if we go a little over 2 o'clock today?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Especially since we keep having to wait for the stream to come back up.
The sassafras.
Baldur, can I have you roll weird?
Me?
Or sorry, not Baldur, Rusty.
Me? Weird? Okay.
Yes.
We look so similar. I get it.
10 success.
Ooh.
Okay, we're gonna come back to that roll. this information is all going to play out. Balder, you go in and your dad is rough. Your mother, father is in rough shape.
First thing I say is, "Hello, I'm sorry. I was. You look hurt, huh? You're all right." And I'll like hop on a chair next to the bed.
Your Goran looks at you, and kind of like croaks an answer, but can't seem to form the words. And
That word choice, like in a hospital bed, and you say croaks. Nice.
Oh my god.
I get you. Mm-hmm.
And you can see the area where they had been attacked, and the infection seems to. Have you ever seen lichen grow in the cracks of stone and the way that it erodes and chips and pushes away at it?
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot like that. The infection looks kind of organic, but it almost seems to grow into and through the stone. Rusty,
Well, that looks bad.
you're seeing this too. And it's incredibly uncommon and very, very rare. But you know what it is.
Dory would put a hand on Balder's
What it
shoulder
is?
just as a comfort thing.
Sorry, say that again. I can relax.
Oh, so you say I know what it is. It is like some sort of stonking sickness?
Yes.
Lycanthropy. This is why I'm not allowed to be on serious streams.
So I
Perfect.
look.
Same.
So if I'm still in the hall, so I look at the Goron's chart.
You wouldn't really be like you can recognize that there is an infection and that this kind of infection is unusual, but you would have to come closer to really inspect it then.
Yeah. I simply want to check if they have diagnosed properly. If I wait, they should know about stonking sickness. They're hospital in the old LA, and there's a lot of us here, so I hope they get it properly.
Yeah, he said he's checking the chart.
Oh, they don't. There's everything is listed as unknown.
And you say there was some nurse in Goron's room?
Yes, she's been trying to take care of the wound and provide comfort.
Who's a nurse? Human?
The nurse is a kind of like a grandmother looking human. Very tall but very like hunched forward.
Okay, so she's a human. So it's a human of Madam variety. Okay.
Yes.
Ma'am, can I ask you for a second? I'm booming from the hall.
She looks up and she kind of looks at Goran like she's not sure if she really should leave his bedside, but steps away. And she said she comes up and she stands in the doorway looking up at you, and there's no fear. Like, this woman does not seem like somebody who is shaken easily.
I point to the chart. It says you don't know what it is. I know what it is.
And she's like, well, we've been trying to research and figure out what this is for days, and we haven't gotten anywhere. And you know that what you saw, you're pretty sure that it is some sort of fungal infection. And knowing that, you would also know that there is a place of residence that is like for to have more information on this, there's a place of residence that the fungal con keeps in Old LA. But that a human probably isn't going to want to know that information.
Balder,
Aye.
I think I know a way your mother father can be helped. I'm not a specialist in stonekin medicine, but it is a known thing. You
Ooh.
can find help. There's this place. I'm telling it both to the nurse and to the Balder. Both to them.
She
And
nods and looks like she's ready to take notes.
I think is this place like a place with like a healing place or like a place with
That's not.
Wow.
Sorry. The fungal con makes me very excited for many
That is-
reasons.
So ominous.
Yeah.
yeah, because I don't know what to tell them. Is this a place like they can get medicine in, or they is this a place they should carry the sick in, or a place where we can get some medicine to help them and carry here?
The place that you know of is terribly ambiguous.
That sounded what you said previously sounded like that, so that's why I'm asking.
What you know. Okay, sorry, I'm just trading notes right now. What you do know of the. God damn it, your puns are so distracting, guys.
You need to get Yaz like chat blinders.
I know. I'm just going to minimize that. So what you do know of the con and this specific area that the con houses is that a Tau and mortals often go seeking answers, but you also know that seeking those answers out of all of the beings and creatures that you could ask for help, most often than not, you are not getting what you wanted, but getting what you asked for. And the cost for the fungal con's help is painfully high.
Sounds like a place that needs some antifungal cream.
And a ladder. Because the price is high.
Okay. So this is what I'm telling them. I have no precise knowledge of this place. I just know people who get this sick, Stonekin who get this sickness can get help there, and that the price for the help is high.
I thought you were just attacked. I didn't know you were sick with an infection. That's just new. No.
Rusty, you would also know that this would be the most direct way to find a cure for what this is.
But the cure is there, and it is the only way I know. So I think.
Does it cost a lot of money? Because I've just given all my money to Mrs. Johnson.
I don't think it costs money because this is a place that.
Like from out in the hallway, V's like, it's like what we were talking about in the truck.
It's one of the
pay
places.
with other stuff.
Yes, where you pay the price, and the price is. It's like in the cities, not in this mortal world. The price means something different. I remember that.
should we bring my dad there then? I don't know if he's fit to travel. Oh, it looks a bit weak.
I don't know. I never caught it.
Yeah, do you think we should
Mushrooms
just
don't want to grow
cut the bit
metal.
away? Because it's only in a slug here and then a bit over there. What if we just, slice it out?
Alder, no, you shouldn't do that without.
It looks real bad.
It does, but you don't have any medical knowledge.
I've got an axe.
No, but maybe this will help, and I'll take a playing card out of my jacket, and I'll just put it on his chest. Might help.
Which one?
Hmm?
Which one? Which playing card?
Ace of Hearts.
Excellent choice. Oh, that's Dad's favorite. I'll pat the
See?
card.
Lucky already.
Look, I'm not good at healing things. I'm good at making things need healing. So that's all I know.
The nurse, knowing now what she does and some of the information, she's like, I think I can help at least keep him stabilized until you find a long-term cure.
All right. So we've got to go to this fungal place. Then. Do you know where it is?
That I know.
All right. I guess I've got to go there then.
All right.
I guess this will mean I don't get to go with y'all to do more drug business. So, I'm sorry.
Well, if you are seeking cure, it is still drug business.
Oh, it's the same people that run both. All right. Well, that's easy then.
No.
It's not the same. Never mind. We should go there and see if we can find someone who can help.
Okay,
All right.
let's hop back to Promethea real quick.
So I left another note in
But-
Zoom chat to further clarify
saw that.
what I was thinking. Okay.
Keeping a vague eye on.
Okay. You draw your magical symbol on. It does take a little bit extra components than what you had initially put together. And it's like plugging a USB in. And as you do so, like the moment you plug your USB in and you start drawing your symbol on this monitor, the screen kind of like does that glitch effect. And for a moment, and I'm going to have you roll sharp to see if you see it for sure, something appears and disappears.
Success. 10.
The image that you see on the computer looks like it's really just like less than a second of a flash that you see this. And what it looks like is several memes kind of collaged together to make a face. And the face is first a question, and then the face is then very perturbed or frustrated. And you, like, it disappears and you go back to finishing your work, and you can start to see your spell begin to work. And those numbers that you're seeing kind of begin to shuffle like a lottery. And then they're no longer numbers, but they're symbols. And then they're no longer symbols, but they seem to be corrupted text or corrupted font. And it begins to overcome the computer. And it says in the middle of all of this corrupt font in a very 8-bit English font, it says, "I see you, Tilda Jenkins." And then the computer goes dead.
Okay, that's interesting. Apparently, I've angered the meme lord.
The internet lizards.
Who would have to... There's literally only one person alive right now that I can think of that would know her actual name. Well, 2 people. Okay, that's weird. Does it actually work, though?
It does. It does work.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's gonna file that away for later. Go find Balder and go, yeah, don't worry about the hospital.
Would you...
bill. I think it's taken care of.
When that happened, would Tilda have like visibly reacted at all?
Oh, yeah, very much so.
Rad.
And then before we do our last little bits, Vi, can I have, or V, I'm gonna say both.
Yes.
Can I have you also roll sharp for me?
Yes. Advantage. Not interested right now.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
Okay. So you
Sorry,
You don't-
was that using your advantage, did you say?
Yes, I did.
Okay, cool.
you don't notice it at first, but you begin to kind of hear like this scratching noise. And at first it's kind of like white noise, but it's persistent, and it kind of comes back for just a moment, and you look around, and on the outside, without like you look to one of the windows, like the window at the end of the hall by the door, and this window is kind of popped open, and on the outside of the window you see a vague shape, but you do recognize the shape. Do you go and inspect it?
Casually.
So you casually stride over, and this you peek out the window, I assume, to this.
Like, yeah, she's been like leaning against beside the door, and then like probably like stands up and stretches and like walks over to the window to look out.
This shape looks up at you with beady little red eyes and kind of gives you like this cheeky little smile. And the voice that comes out of it kind of rattles like it's like 8 voices talking at the same time. And it says, "Oh, my dear, I'm so glad to see you. I have a bit of information that I need you to gather for me. I would very much like you to stick to this champion, and please deliver any further information that you have on him. Strange things are afoot, and I wouldn't want you to be caught in the middle of it now, would I?"
And V does like a yawn. Looks like it might rain.
And the little shadow skitters off.
It's a champion? Okay.
Yep, it sure did. Would any of you guys like to add a little extra before we end our session today? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, who the hell is the meme lord?
Things are happening.
I'm very excited. But I can't answer that question yet.
I have theories.
Do you?
Theory
So-
craft for this meme lord.
So many theories.
Okay.
Tilda would. I did want to add Tilda finding Balder and just putting a hand on Balder's shoulder and saying, so don't know what all was going on in here, but I took care of the hospital bill for you. So don't worry about it.
That's nice. I hope it wasn't too expensive.
No,
I'll
not at all.
definitely pay you back for it if you just tell me how much it is.
Oh,
It's gonna be maybe a while because my dad's really sick. I thought he was just hurt, but apparently he's got some sort of strange disease thing with fungus. So
Tilda does like the That's Rough Buddy from Avatar, except genuine.
yeah,
But it's like that kind of tone. Like that's rough, buddy.
Oops.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Internets.
Oh, it's quite the rave.
It's
There you
okay.
go.
It's back again.
It's
There
back.
we go.
But it looks at Balder and says, well, I used a grease pen, so if you find me a new grease pen, we'll be even.
what's a grease pen?
Tilda pulls out like an extra one. Like it looks like this. It's a pencil, but instead of lead, or graphite, it's like this greasy material.
Mm. I'm sure I can find some of those.
There you go. Bring me one of those and we'll call it even.
All right, I will. And I'll like look back towards that one more time, and I guess we'll go.
I'll show you where it is, but I hope we won't be staying there for long because something tells me this place is very wet.
We might get sick too with the same thing.
Yeah, mushrooms and wetness, they all always come together.
At least you've got a raincoat, and I'll like pull on your tent.
Maybe that's why I never got this sickness. You need to buy your mother father a coat too.
When they get better, aye. For now, though, I think I might get one while we're on the way. At least an umbrella.
We can definitely pick you up a raincoat.
Let's go.
I think that's a good moment to end on, unless
That sounds perfect to me.
Nina, did you have anything?
No,
alright.
I was happy with my
Oh.
card ending.
That was really
Yeah,
nice.
solid.
I love
I
that
had-
so much.
That was great. I had one clarifying question.
Yes.
The memes, are they Tilda's era memes or are they current era memes?
They are all era memes.
All the memes.
Oh my god,
Okay.
early 2000 memes.
Yes.
Some
Like
necessarily 2000 memes.
prehistoric YouTube memes.
Okay,
Like-
okay.
Charlie the Unicorn.
Kick them in the head with your energy legs.
It's
I give some
important.
hieroglyph memes too.
It's important investigative information
Yes.
for my theory crafting that I will now be obsessing over for the next week. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yay!
Of course.
I wanna see pictures of your cork board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do have one. I might have to do this.
Please.
Just get a bunch of paper, start writing notes. Have to get some yarn. I think Rowan's got some that she'll probably wouldn't mind me
Okay. So
stealing.
that was super exciting for me.
Oh, that was great. We're down for the moment. It's trying to come back.
Oh my god, we could do Stone Kid Fashion Week. Oh my god.
I love that.
All right, I think we're back. Before we go on a raid, and before the internet cuts out again, we're going to let everybody say what their favorite part was, where we can find them next, and anything they'd like to share or plug. And we're going to go reverse order, so we'll start with Yaz.
Yay! Me! Hey, I'm a visual storyteller. You can see my stuff on my website, which I'll post in chat, but also I will be streaming as Bambi Darling next week on Wednesday here on Raven's channel. And that's going to be an adventure because Exodus's Starlit Harlot is beginning to grow a backbone and doesn't like being pushed around anymore. So, yeehaw for character growth. I also stream on my own channel, and I will be doing art and talking about the Neon Devils world with Troll and Prettiest Princess usually, so you can check in and check that out. Or I think we have a game stream this coming Tuesday? I don't know. Anyways, my favorite part is all of it. No, I love getting to be a fangirl, watching you guys play your characters, because exciting. I am a super fangirl for Baldur and anything that comes out of his mouth. It's just the sweetest buddy. Oh. And of course, Tilda fucking with some big shit. Here for it. Those are my favorite parts. Anyways, can't wait to hear yours.
She's got to build up that rep. All right. Econorlax, same questions.
Yeah, Baldur is a real heart stealer. Baldur is really stealing hearts here because sorry, Turi, Vi, and Tilda, Baldur is really the bestest here.
He's adorable.
Yeah, the moment when the fight was starting and he just went, oh well, time to fight and and enter the full hero mode. That was great. The reluctance. So I'm Econorlax. You can find me here next week. Yep, that's my next appearance. Here next week.
Yay!
So see you next week. Bye.
All right. Next, remember to go follow at Dastard Romance on Twitter. Rowan, who plays Dovak, should be here next week. It's a really cool character and really cool person, so give her a follow. And then next we've got Hannah. What was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
Oh my gosh, people are so great. I really enjoy Rusty's real big nonchalance. Just I don't want to fight you because that just means you're going to be dead. So I'll throw a truck at you instead, and hopefully you just move along. I quite enjoy that. But I also really like Tootie just sidestepping and things just die because she's too lucky. Where you can find me next, I will be back here on Raven's channel Tuesday evening at the 6 Mountain time slot for Standing Stones, in which I play Sage the Fawn, who we all just discovered that we can do magic when we go outside of the Standing Stone barrier, and that was pretty exciting, except for that we also almost got eaten immediately. So we had a day.
We did.
Everybody almost died. It's fine.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then back here, obviously. Yay.
All right. Paladin, same questions.
I think, well, everyone did a great job. I really like the card that Turi put on Dan's chest. That's a nice small little symbol, because RP doesn't have to be huge emotional things. It could be those little small moments. And I liked all of it, really. Just constant gold. I like the question barrage at the start of Raven's character. That was Wow, we are being super intrusive right now. It was a fun little thing. I can't wait to get back here again next week, but in between, I also doing some stuff. I don't have my Mass Effect show tomorrow because that's over. The finale has happened. It was amazing. Check it out. Sundays, this Sunday, I'm practicing for one thing, and then I have a one-shot on Polished Cryptids channel where I am GMing a D&D one-shot of my own creation called Abby's Lament. That's the one I run if you ask me to run a one-shot for you, where an adventuring party is tired, having traveled through a storm for the last couple of days, and then they arrive in a fishing village, but instead of comfort and safety, they find nightmares.
Ooh.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
And I'm gonna
love
have
that.
to do that from 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. So yay me!
Ouch.
But
Why
it
would
should
you
be
do
amazing.
that to yourself?
'Cause I like role-playing games, and she asked me directly, and I can't say no to that because that's good for my ego.
Oh, I get it though. I
Yeah.
get it.
Time zones are a hell of a thing.
They are. Tuesdays, I'm also back on Polished Cryptids channel, thankfully in a much better time zone for me, because that's her evening and my morning, where we return to the Wandering Menagerie, where I play Dom Rain, the Githzerai noble fighter, where our party has had some conflict about how things resolved in the previous village, where we were put on trial and did not leave being declared innocent. We have stumbled upon a maze inhabited by a copper dragon who seems determined to make juvenile jokes and waste our time. So my fellow party members will enjoy talking to them, and I will not. And then I'm back here. Yes.
Excuse me.
Yay!
Awesome. Next, Anina, what was your favorite part? Where can folks find you? Anything you want to share or plug?
I really enjoy Rusty's fighting style, which is what is the biggest thing I could find, and go Hulk on people. I enjoy that. I very much enjoy that. That and yeah, interrogating Tilda was fun. I discovered that Turi's she has no filter, so it's gonna come out, and what happens. So that's fun. I'm back here next week on the same time to play more of this wonderful campaign, and you can find me on the YouTube. I'm the Awkward Actress. I've got comedy sketches, comedy monologues, and also a dark drama web series there for you to watch. So just Google YouTube the Awkward Actress, and the link is there for you.
Awesome.
Hope you enjoy that.
And that just leaves me, my favorite part. I can't pick a favorite part. They're all good. And also my brain, the back of my brain still going like, who the hell is this person that knows who Tilda is? That's going to be distracting. I really enjoyed all the stuff with Balder. Like, at the bar afterwards, and then the combat encounter was really fun, seeing how everybody handled it. And everybody handling it very differently from one another was also kind of neat to see. And I think overall just how the party has sort of like formed an actual party now. Like a lot of bonding happened. And it feels like a cohesive group now, which is really cool. And then yeah, the stuff in the hospital. I'm still scratching my head over that, but also really happy that I was able to wipe out a bunch of people's debt. That's really cool. Because screw medical bills. But yeah, those are my favorite parts. Where you can find me next will be in about 2.5 hours for Welcome to Madison, right back here. It's a surreal horror game run on Fundamental RPG. We're going to a small town, totally normal small town, to have a totally normal, quiet vacation where nothing bad is going to happen. That's pretty much where we're at. And then other things to share or plug are just sponsors. Once again, throwing those into chat. Fundamental RPG. It looks like this. You can pick up your copy on Amazon if you want the book, or if you want the digital version, you can go to coffee.com/raven/shop, like it says at the bottom of the screen, just add /shop to the end. It's currently on sale for $14.99 until the end of the month. Normally it's $18.99, so if you want to pick up the digital version, be sure to pick that up before June, because that's when it goes off of sale. You can also pick up free character sheets at the same site. Also at that same site is our other sponsor, Intrepid, which is adventuring gear for real life. I've been using the coffee mug today while we've been playing. It's all got a tabletop or adventure theme to it. There's apparel, accessories, drinkware, a whole bunch of really cool stuff. There's some water bottles that I have up there for Pride as well that has the Intrepid logo with various Pride colors, which is pretty cool. I'm going to hopefully get to adding more stuff to that before the end of the month, if other projects will allow. And then finally, other sponsor is Die Hard Dice. Very cool dice. I use them almost exclusively in my dice bag, and they sent me this really cool prismatic rainbow set. It's a little hard to see all the really cool colors on the camera, but in person they are gorgeous. You can pick up your own set, or any number of other really cool sets at dieharddice.com. If you use the code BlackFeatherMay, all one word, capital B, capital M, you can get 10% off your total order. And then if you want to catch up on this show or others that we have on the channel, our past stream library can be found at the Fantasy Network at watch.thefantasy.network. And all of that is available for free. So you can stream all of that past content on there without having to have a paid subscription or anything like that. And I think that's everything. So we're going to go on a raid. We've got a raid cry, which is you don't have any medical knowledge. I have an axe. Feel free to copy that right out of chat. We're going to go raid Susie, who's playing some Resident Evil Village in an amazing cosplay. She's really cool. Give her a follow if you're not doing so already, and say hi. She does a lot of really cool tabletop stuff in addition to video games. And then, yeah, throw the raid cry into chat there. And I will see you all in a couple hours. Bye, everybody.
Bye.